Imagine lying awake at 2 a.m., your heart pounding with frustration as thumping bass vibrates through your thin dorm wall. You've got a massive exam in the morning, but your neighbor? She's partying like it's her personal concert hall. What would you do if politeness failed, and revenge became your only option? Stick around, because this story of sweet petty justice is about to make your day. If you've ever dealt with a nightmare neighbor who made your life hell and dreamed of flipping the script on them, you're in the right place. Hit that like button if you're already rooting for the underdog, subscribe for more epic revenge files that hit right in the feels, and let's dive into this one. It's got all the frustration, build-up, and glorious payback you. Alright, let me take you back to my college dorm. A long narrow hallway that always smelled faintly like burnt popcorn and cheap Axe body spray. Doors lined up like dominoes, each one hiding a stressed, sleep-deprived college kid clinging to sanity by the grace of caffeine. And then, there was Sarah. Sarah lived in the room directly next to mine. Not across. Not down the hall. Right next to me. Paper-thin wall. Shared electrical outlet. Shared ventilation. I could sneeze in my room and she could say bless you from hers. Now, Sarah wasn't evil. She wasn't a villain. She was just loud. Like someone who lived her life permanently stuck at maximum volume. Music at 1 a.m. Music at 2 a.m. Music so loud you could feel the lyrics in your organs. She blasted EDM, rap, pop remixes, whatever would shake the building like a minor earthquake. And whenever someone complained, she had the same response. Relax, it's college. She'd toss her hair, laugh like the world was her private party, and keep dancing. At first, I tried to be understanding. We were all young. We were all stupid. I figured the novelty would wear off. But then came finals week eve. I had an early exam the next morning, like 8 a.m. early. The kind of exam that determines whether you pass the semester or end up crying in academic advising. So at midnight, exhausted, anxious, and desperately needing sleep, I knock on Sarah's door. She opens it wearing neon pink headphones around her neck, hair in a messy bun, holding a can of energy drink like it was the nectar of life. I ask her, politely, "Hey, could you lower the music a bit? I've got a big exam tomorrow." She gives me this slow blink, this little smirk, and says, "Sure." Then she reaches behind her with one smug finger, and cranks the dial up. Not just louder. Earthquake louder. My bed vibrated like a Motel Magic Fingers machine. She looked me dead in the eyes while she did it. I swear I felt my soul leave my body. I just stood there stunned thinking, did this girl just villain origin story me? I walked back to my room, laid on my bed, stared at the ceiling like a war veteran remembering the trenches. I was too tired to even be angry, too stressed to fight. For hours, I lay there listening to muffled bass thumping through the wall, my mind racing with flashcards I hadn't even studied yet. I think I got maybe 43 minutes of sleep. But the next morning, I dragged myself to that exam. Hand trembling, eye twitching, powered entirely by resentment and spite. And when I finished, when the exhaustion hit, I realized something. I didn't want revenge because of the exam. I wanted revenge because she laughed at my kindness. Because she turned basic respect into a joke. And let me tell you, nothing motivates revenge like righteous indignation. Now, here's the key detail you need to know for what came next. Sarah was not a morning person. Not even a little. She slept till noon like it was a contractual obligation. The hallway could be silent as a tomb at 7 a.m., and she'd still be hibernating. So I started thinking, if she loves volume so much, maybe she'd love it at my favorite time of day. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is when the universe handed me a weapon. My Bluetooth speaker. A tiny portable cylinder capable of projecting sound directly through the thin dorm wall like a sonic laser beam. So the next morning, I woke up at 6:30 a.m. Sharp. No snooze button.
No hesitation.
I scrolled through the cheesiest, most aggressively upbeat pop songs known to mankind. I'm talking early 2000s boy bands. Bubblegum choruses. Songs that stick in your head like glue and sugar. And with the confidence of a man who'd lost everything except his will to be petty, I placed the speaker against our shared wall and pressed play. Instantly, the wall vibrated. The hallway echoed with peppy harmonized falsettos. I could practically imagine Sarah being ripped from peaceful slumber by a chorus of synchronized teenage boys singing about heartbreak. About 30 seconds in, I heard it. Thump. The unmistakable sound of someone jolting awake and slamming their fist into the mattress. Footsteps. A groan. The sound of a body dramatically collapsing back onto the bed. I kept the music going for 10 glorious minutes, then turned it off and went to class like a saint. Day 2. Same thing. 6:30 a.m. Boy band banger. Speaker pressed against the wall like the world's most annoying artillery cannon. This time, I heard her stumble out of her room, messy hair, socks half on, eyes squinted like she'd just risen from the dead. She stared at me across the hallway as I locked my door, music still blasting behind me. "Dude, what the hell?" she croaked. I smiled, calm as a monk. "Relax," I said. "It's college." Day 3? Oh, day 3 was a masterpiece. She came knocking on my door at 6:40 a.m. Hair sticking out in every direction. Blanket wrapped around her shoulders like a defeated wizard. She didn't even try to look tough. "Please," she said, voice cracking, "I'm begging you. Stop." Her voice wasn't angry anymore. It was pleading. Desperate. She looked like she hadn't slept since the Pleistocene era. And I swear to you, this was the exact moment I realized how deeply satisfying justice can feel. I turned down the music, leaned casually against the doorframe, and said, "Relax." She stared at me, bracing for the worst. "It's college." Her jaw actually dropped. Like her face literally forgot how to function. She stormed off, muttering something about psycho morning people, but I didn't care. Because for the rest of that week, my 6:30 a.m. wake-up calls continued. Never too loud. Never long enough to technically violate quiet hours. Just enough to remove every ounce of beauty sleep she tried to salvage. By day 5, she looked like she'd aged 3 presidential terms. And then, the music stopped. Her 2 a.m. raves disappeared like a bad habit. The hallway slept peacefully once more. Nobody said anything, but everyone noticed. Sarah never apologized. Never admitted defeat. But the silence that followed? Let me tell you, that silence was golden. The moment she begged me to stop, that was the climax. It wasn't dramatic in a movie-style explosion way. It was subtle, quiet, human. Her pride cracked. Her arrogance dissolved. She suddenly understood how it felt to be disrespected in your own space. The same girl who once laughed while cranking her music louder, now stood in front of me with dark circles under her eyes, whispering please. And that moment? That was justice. Simple, clean, satisfying as hell. Sometimes revenge doesn't have to be cruel or destructive, it just has to be poetic. All I did was give her a taste of her own medicine, delivered at the time she hated most. And you know what? Some people don't learn through conversation. They learn through consequences. If this story made you laugh, or if you've ever dreamed of giving a noisy neighbor a carefully calibrated wake-up call, hit that like button. Drop a comment telling me the pettiest revenge you've ever served or witnessed. I read every one. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories where justice comes wrapped in creativity, timing, and a little bit of chaos. Thanks for listening. And remember, respect the neighbors who can wake up earlier than you.